On May 18, 1927, the most deadly massacre occurred in the history of the United States. The massacre was called the Bath School Disaster of 1927. The massacre took place in Bath, Michigan, in a small farm community with less than 300 people. The perpetrator wired the school building with more than 500 pounds of dynamite. There were 38 children killed, 2 teachers, 4 adults, and 58 people wounded by a perpetrator named Andrew Kehoe. Mr. Kehoe was 55 years old, was a 55-year-old dynamite farmer. He also served on the school board and was caretaker for the school. Some sources reported that Mr. Kehoe was upset because the property taxes were raised to repay the school's bond. His home was also scheduled to be foreclosed prior to the violent act. 80 years later, after the bombing in 1927, the shooting at Virginia Polytechnic occurred on April 16, 2007. 23-year-old senior at Virginia Tech by the name of Seung-Hyu Cho committed the violent act. There were 33 fatalities in the shooting in Blacksburg, Virginia, with many other people who were injured physically and mentally. A different shooting took place 4 years later at the Sandy Hook Elementary School that left 21 first graders dead. All of the victims under age 7. They are the youngest victims ever reported in American history to be killed in a massacre.
The man who committed the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting was Adam Lanza. The obvious question that remains unanswered: why had the shooter murdered 27 people, including 20 children? Unfortunately, the reason remains undocumented. The Columbine school shooting that happened in Littleton, Colorado on April 20th, 1999 is considered the most famous shooting because it has been the subject of a Hollywood film and a popular documentary. 2 murderers in the Columbine school shooting were named Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, who were high school seniors at Columbine High School. According to journals, notes, and videos that Klebold and Harris left behind indicated that the 2 had been thinking of committing the crime as early as April 1998. They even wrote in each other's yearbook about their scheme. Klebold and Harris used the internet to find ways to make pipe bombs and other explosives. The weapons they used included guns, knives, and 99 explosive devices. The shooting that took place on Red Lake Indian Reservation. The reservation was located in a poor area in northern Minnesota where about 5,000 people lived. The population was mostly from the Ojibwe tribe. The Auburn school shooting of 2006 targeted females. Charles Carl Roberts separated the boys and girls. He released the males and lined the girls against the blackboard and tied their feet and shot them execution style in the head. The Auburn school shooting took place in southeastern Pennsylvania.
I believe we should watch access to guns and guns to mentally ill people.
In conclusion, although we presented the 6 deadly shootings, we as a nation have had too many tragedies that have occurred in our schools. In the United States alone, there has been an average of 1 school shooting every other school day since the beginning of 2014. Students can no longer view school as a safe haven for learning. Most weapons used in school shootings were obtained from home. Also, students can no longer find comfort among their fellow classmates, regardless of age. The youngest school shooter in the United States was 6-year-old Derek Owens, who shot and killed his fellow classmate, Kayla Rowland. Furthermore, with the recent change in gun control laws, it appears that we can only expect the gun violence in school will only increase proportionally.